Star Wars Episode 4 is just a classical, homebrew Dungeons and Dragons campaign, and I am here to prove it. Some people will complain that there already exist ready-to-play, full conversion books from Dungeons and Dragons to the Star Wars universe. To that I have to say, where's the fun in role-playing if you don't get into a fist fight, because the rules didn't explicitly state that your Ewok pilot cannot use the dark side of the Force, when starting to multi-class a Sith. Now put your annoying hand down, or I will bite it off. You are the audience, I am a talking dice, and this is Lame Brain Campaign. Hop on the train and abstain from pain, or I will have to detain you insane, methane, sniffing, mundane humane from my domain of fame, us rhymes. Sustain this high speed, and don't gain a migraine, since we are on the lane towards new arcane terrain. Welcome to Lame Brain Campaign. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy the format and leave your feedback down in the comments. But let's introduce our player characters first. We have a medium-sized group which makes the whole meeting process a bit lengthy and awkward, but that's fine, since we are seasoned DMs and some players deserve to suffer. Our first player character is called Luke Skywalker. He chose to go with a human paladin. His mysterious background gives a small boost to all basic stats, but he is no specialist by any means. This leaves a lot of room for development, which I always love to see in characters. In an interesting twist, the character does not know about his class yet either. Also, his lawful good alignment isn't very cemented, so we might even see him being tempted to betray his values or some other meaningful shit. Interestingly, we have two support characters, both of whom have chosen the droid race. R2-D2 is a droid engineer without the ability to speak any language besides, well, beep boop-ish. Instead, he only communicates telepathically. I want to award some extra experience points for good role-playing at this point, since playing without being able to speak, but still managing to have more character depth than the protagonists from Episode 7 is pretty impressive stuff. C-3PO is a droid warlock. Yeah, I bet you didn't see this one coming. His mysterious background allows him to make any character around his new patron. This doesn't grant him any new abilities and is a pretty useless skill when it comes to game mechanics, but he refers to them as his master, which is a nice flavor touch if you ask me, and he is able to speak any known language in the galaxy. Even forbidden ones. Like Sith. Goddamn warlocks and their ancient, forbidden tongues. I would categorize him as somewhere in between lawful neutral or lawful evil, judging by his acts later in the campaign. One day Chobix's player was watching TV. He was switching from show to show, and when he saw Paddington Bear come on, he thought to himself, yes. But what if criminal? This is how we got the Wookiee rogue on our group. He got a custom blaster crossbow for himself and also some piloting skills. Just like R2, he does not speak languages, but rather communicates telepathically. His sidekick is some guy. I think he is single or something, I don't know. The concept sounded kinda shady and I didn't get to talk to his player yet. My guess right now is that he is some kind of drama queen rogue, who doesn't have any parents or friends and is only adventuring for the money. A typical chaotic bitcha character. Our last player character is Leia. She got a noble plus mysterious background, yet it's one of those dramatic groups full of mysterious, unique snowflakes with some tragic backstories, a lot of charisma, and the rebellion troops right behind her. Rescuing her will be the first milestone for the campaign, which sucks for her player, since they have to sit on the sidelines, but that sounds like a not me problem to me. We set the scene by giving some background lore to the players and have a small prologue in which the antagonist captures the princess, who stole some secret plans from him. His name is Darth Vader, and it is said that he is the former Padawan of old Kenobi. Vader translates to father in English, and we have multiple characters in the party which chose the mysterious background. Place your bets on who gets to have the antagonist as their biological father. Sigmund Freud wrote this campaign, didn't he? Ugh. Also, I can see some of you protesting that rescuing a captured princess is a pretty boring concept and has been kinda overdone by most forms of media, but Paul didn't bring any snacks, and I think he deserves to sit there and wait for the other players to rescue him for the next 3 or 4 evenings. The two droids flee from the ship and the campaign begins. Their first objective is to find an Obi-Wan Kenobi, who acts as their first quest-giving NPC. They fail multiple stealth and orientation checks, after their DM makes them impossible to pass and end up being taken hostage on their desert vacation. This is where they did realize that taking non-fighter characters might have been a mistake, considering their inconsiderate DM. The family which takes care of Luke Skywalker pays the droids ransom and brings them to their farm. There the two convince the young character to help them find Obi-Wan Kenobi, who conveniently shares his last name with a certain Ben Kenobi who lives near the farm. There was a small discussion at the table about religious indoctrination, but we didn't get too deep into it, since Paul already grew impatient. A few conveniences later they find Ben.
Well, of course I know him. He's me.
A few conveniences later they find Obi-Wan, and he teaches Luke the basic paladin skill set. After recruiting him to his religious order of zealots, he even gives him the evil artifact which Luke's father used to slaughter the younglings. Nice. Obi-Wan seems to be your run-of-the-mill, standard, old, wise, neutral good, mentor type. He proves everyone wrong after cutting off this random alien's arm, which marks him as the standard, old, wise, neutral, chaotic, mentor type. They meet up with criminal Peddington and his sidekick, who definitely shot first. As one does, they get the rogues into their group by promising monetary reward. The first random encounter with some Imperial troops goes over rather smoothly and they start their journey to the Alderaan system. There they find a huge metal moon.
That's no moon. It's a space station.
There they find a huge metal celestial object. After botching their tractor beam saving throw, they get pulled on board the
space station.
The party makes this crazy plan to disguise themselves as Imperial troops and a tense stealth section begins. The player characters are mostly successful, because Paul was threatening to permanently leave the group if he had to sit through one more evening of freaking space battles and training montages, without being a part in any of it. In true chaotic fashion, Obi-Wan is running through the space station and turning off random buttons and levers, just to screw with the maintenance crew. Now united, the group of heroes has a random encounter with some Imperial troops, and just to spice things up they get to fight Oscar from Sesame Street in the trash compactor of the ship. The fight is extremely close since Luke's player refuses to use his paladin skills yet because it wouldn't fit into his character development yet. Their DM lies about having 2 consecutive nat 1s and they get away. Obi-Wan pissed off too many members of the maintenance crew and they decided to start a manhunt on him. Even the big bad daddy joins in and the two of them have a duel which Obi-Wan decides to lose, because he couldn't find any high ground. The players complain about his death but kinda agree that having an overpowered Jedi Master around would kinda ruin the tension. A cool escape sequence breaks out and the party gets away from the Death Star. They have a quick political/tactical section where they speak to the rebel leaders. Even the Death Star plan MacGuffin gets to be useful, even though the whole air vent thing seems like a huge oversight and like lazy writing. The players start fighting over who gets what reward and the mysterious drama queen leaves the room because he thought they didn't get enough cool scenes yet. What a bitch. The GM even gave his character a reward to cement his boring "I'm in it for the money" character arc. I hate rogues so much. Final adventure, attack on the
Space station.
Paul gets to sit on the sidelines again whilst Luke gets to fight at the front line. A very tense battle is fought and most non-player allies die in the process. In the end, Luke is practically 1 versus 1 with Darth Vader. This is where the DM has some pity and gets the drama queen back at the table. There he gets to be the Deus Ex Machina which saves Luke from certain annihilation. A final dice is thrown and Luke lands a nat 20, which is so impressive that even his dead mentor says a few final lines. They blow up the
space station.
Everyone but Paddington Bear and Leia gets a medal and the campaign comes to a happy end. Forever. No further backstory or sequels needed. The end. Fin. End. La fine. Bye bye. Thank you so much for watching. You can tell me in the comments below, if there is a specific TV show, movie, or game you want to see on this channel. A subscription would be very cool too. Enjoy your day, the next video is underway, my life is in disarray, now go away.